preseason done now. How do you feel the team looks? You know, obviously with Chris coming in, it's going to be some changes.
I'm really excited. I think the team looks great. I think preseason and training camp were great for us, just to work on things that we consider weaknesses. And I think with knowing the games count going forward, that just kind of unlocks another level of competitiveness we need to have a great start.
One of the things that Steve has said a couple of times is that he knows the defense has to get better. Mm-hmm. What do you think has to happen? When you break it down, what do you think has to happen and maybe will happen?
I think what will happen is getting Draymond back in the lineup is awesome, just because he's one of the greatest defenders of all time. And then on top of that, just continuing to play with high levels of energy, which can be hard throughout a training camp and preseason because of the workload you endure. So coming Tuesday night, I think you'll see a much better defensive effort than you've seen previously these last 2 weeks.
How would you assess your preseason individually? What did you like about what you did? What didn't you like about it?
I loved it. And what I liked about it, I was playing basketball. Because I haven't played preseason basketball in, I can't even remember, 2019. So I loved it.
Kuminga has, just been everywhere, during these preseason games. If he is even just a fraction of what he was for you guys, scoring, all that stuff, during the regular season, what does that added dimension just do for your group?
It's awesome to see Jonathan's improvements. I know how hard he works. I see it on the daily. And his shot making is looking like it's going to another level, especially in the mid-range. I've always said he had a great looking shot, and now to see him making that at a higher rate just shows he's been working really hard. So teams used to sag off him. I don't think they'll be able to do that as much this season, especially from the corners. And we obviously know how great of an athlete he is when he's getting downhill or elevating above the rim. So I just look forward to him making a huge leap this year and being a two-way player that has great ability on both sides of the ball and a future staple in this lineup for years to come.
Klay, it's been 5 years actually. 2018, it's your last preseason game.
I ain't playing 2019?
You did not, sir.
That's wild. Wow, 5 years, man.
Yeah, a few months before preseason was the first injury.
Yeah, before 2019.
Fall of 2019.
Oh, the years just mixed, yeah. Wow, that's a blessing. Wow. Sorry.
As one who has a PhD in playing next to Steph, how would you assess how well Chris Paul has adjusted to just, the nuances of playing with Steph?
Oh, Chris been great. He gives Steph a break from handling the ball responsibilities, and he's such a smart player. I learn something new from him every day. And, that's going to be a dynamic duo going forward, just from both guys operating the pick and roll. And we know Steph is equally as good coming off of screens, off the ball, so Chris is just going to give us a whole new dimension as far as allowing Steph and I to play off the ball, kind of like Draymond does, but even Wiggs with his cutting. So just another great facilitator who's going to cut down turnovers and run offenses smoothly. Is that it?
I don't know how much you've worked with Anthony Vereen, but what jumps out about his coaching style?
Man, I love AB. I've known Anthony a long time because he played with my brother in Santa Cruz, and I used to really enjoy going to watch those guys play. And Anthony is just such an easygoing guy, and he has a great passion for the game, and he's a student of the game, and he can relate to any player, whether they're a veteran or a rookie. And he never really relied on his athleticism to be the player he was, so he is great at teaching the fundamentals, and I know he's been working real close with Jonathan, and I think he helped him polish that pump fake that's so lethal for him now. So AV is just a great addition to the staff, and he's a joy to be around every day. Nice.
You've been working with Chris DeMarco, what seems like forever. What makes you guys' relationship work?
I mean, Chris is just another one, just like AV. He loves the game. Just like AV, he wasn't the most athletic player. So it's easier for him to relate to guys who got to get by doing the gritty stuff. Sometimes, I got to get gritty, whether it's playing defense or playing with a lot of heart, emotion. And we like just to do the same things, We enjoy nature, our dogs, the Bahamas. And CD's been awesome to be around this last decade. Great friend of mine.
It seems the general thinking is that the Western Conference is really deep this year. Have you looked around much, and what do you see when you do?
I mean, it's been deep my whole career. I see a bunch of great teams from top to bottom. Even the teams you consider on the lower end of the totem pole still have a ton of young talent. I think the NBA is just full of so many talented players, a positionless game it seems to be these days, and there probably will not be any nights off going forward, so it's going to be a fun challenge to accept. Nice.
Vikings, Kings, Monday Night Football. You got
Vikings who? Kings?
Sorry, woo, I'm tripping.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
was like, what's that?
Vikings, 49ers.
Oh, 49ers? I got the 49ers. Yeah, they're rolling.